October 7 left many people alive with images in their mind they will never forget. The traumas will last a lifetime. On that day, the world bore witness to crimes that surpass our darkest nightmares. It was a day when innocent lives were dispersed, families shattered, and our shared humanity put to a test. The events of that day are now permanently recorded in history and have changed us deeply. We urge the world to ensure that never again truly means never again, to keep the memory of what happened alive, especially now, as Israel defends itself with the goal to eradicate Hamas. We have with us a survivor of the music festival Massacre, Alon Marek. Alon just came back from his big trip to discover the world after serving 3 years in the IDF, and he miraculously saved his life and the life of his friends. Thank you for joining us, Alon. If you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your story.
Hello, Sasha. Thank you for inviting me to speak. So my name is Alon. I'm 24 years old. I live in Haifa, and I attended the Nova Festival. So actually, it was my friend of mine. He bought himself a ticket about 3 months before the festival. He was all so excited about the festival, and he was speaking with me about this festival for all this period, for these 3 months. And I was like, I wanted to have the benefit of maybe going, maybe not going. I wasn't sure I'm gonna be in Israel. So I didn't bought myself a ticket until the night before the festival, when he called me and he told me, you're coming with me to the festival, I'm gonna buy you a ticket and you're coming with me. So I gave him the green light, he bought me the ticket, and we attended to the festival. So we arrived to the festival about 2 a.m. We immediately started to arrange all of our camping gear, put our tent, set the chairs and everything. We met a few friends of my friend from his team in the military service. And this festival was all about joy and peace, and it was full of beautiful people, everybody dancing. And I actually remember myself hugging my friend for a moment. It was maybe 5 a.m. I remember I was hugging him and I was telling him, I'm so happy you bought me this ticket and that I came with you. I'm having the time of my life. And at about 6:30 a.m., everything changed. The scene was completely different. So it started when the producers of the festival went on stage and asking everybody to, they turned off the music. And
But you were in the middle of a music festival dancing, and you didn't pay attention to anything, like nothing was just normal?
Everything was completely normal. The beauty of these festivals is that everybody comes and they can express themselves and they can be whoever they want to be. They can be themselves. So everybody is just really, it's such a joyful event.
And then in one moment...
And in one moment, everything
So you were dancing,
changed.
and then one moment, what happened?
So I was dancing on the main stage with so many people. And the producer actually went on stage, turning off the music, and asking everybody to lay down on the ground because there are rockets being launched from Gaza into Israel territory. It was actually, I remember he was saying it was not a joke because everybody was not understanding exactly what was happening. So we all lay down on the ground immediately, and it was enough just to look at the sky. Like you could see tens of rockets, and you can see the Iron Drone system, the Israeli air defense system, exploding the rockets while being in the air. So everybody was really lying on the ground, and after 15 minutes that we saw it won't end anytime soon, he asked everybody to pack all of his belongings and go to the cars and go back home as quickly as possible. So my friend and I, we went back to the tenting area. It was almost 7 a.m. We packed everything. We said goodbye to all of our friends we met at the festival, and starting to go to the parking direction of the car. It took us also about 10 minutes to find the car. Then we entered the car, and I can tell you, I remember we heard like shooting, like I can say it now, but at the time we
You don't know
didn't
what it is.
understand. Yeah, I know the difference between a sound of a missile that's exploding and the sound of
Can you
a
speak with your
shooting.
family at this moment? You
I
cannot.
don't know. My family actually, they just came back from abroad. Like they landed at 4 a.m. So they weren't aware. So yeah, so we entered the car. We started driving. Actually, yeah. So we started driving, and there was a jam. There was a jam because going out of the festival, you have one road, and you could either turn right towards the south or turn left towards the north. So us living in Haifa, we took left, and again, it's like everybody, all of our surroundings, everybody was completely unaware of what was happening. Everybody thought it's rockets, and so there are panic on the scene, but nobody, like, we're used to it. It's really sad to say it, but we're used of rockets being launched for Gaza, so people are still gathering themselves together. So we take the left turn going out of the festival, and we start driving a line of cars, everybody escaping what we thought was rockets. And maybe 3-4 minutes later, we see all the cars in front of us in the line just doing a big U-turn and going back towards the festival. The people were panicked, but nobody opened his window or shouted something. Like, there was a complete misunderstanding of the situation. So everybody in front of us just did a big U-turn, and we arrived at the situation that we were the first car in the line, and everybody that were in front of us already went back. So I take my head out of the window and I look in front of me, and I can see 200 meters in front of me some cars on the side of the road next to shelters against bombings. And okay, so I tell my friend that must be the police, that they blocked the road, or the military that they blocked the road because a missile or a rocket had fallen. So let's start driving, and if it's the police, they're gonna tell us they blocked the road, and we'll find a new way to come back home. Like, it's like, this is what you assume. So we start driving, and then I look to my right, and really maybe 20 meters away on the side of the road, I see 3 police officers walking shoulder to shoulder with their guns in their hands, and they're walking towards something. And then I look 30 meters forward, there was a big tree next to the shelter, and I look, and there's a small car, like a minivan, a white minivan, and I can see at least one Hamas terrorist that I saw with the green bandage on his head with a machine gun aiming at the police. And immediately I scream at my friend who was driving, like, take your head down and drive as fast as you can, because I can see a terrorist. And it was all happening like on the side of the road. So we took our head down and we drove as fast as we could. And all the cars that I saw when we stopped on the road, all the cars, the windows were broken, the glasses were shattered. You could see blood on the road. I hadn't had the time to look inside the cars, but I can imagine there were bodies as well, which we later understood that the terrorists were on the road, firing at every car that was passing by, exactly. And the moment...
Can we do a fast forward? Like, you see terrorists, like, you are in the middle of, you are in a festival. Like, then what happened? Like, or you came back then home, well, like, or you saved yourself at the end?
So yeah, as soon as we passed this scene, we drove as fast as we could, and we didn't understand what was happening. We thought maybe, okay, so there's a few terrorists who managed to filter themselves into Israel, but never would have we thought that it's that big, like this dimension of an event. So we drove, and yeah, we managed to escape. Actually, there was a rocket also that had fallen next to the car, like 50 meters away, while we were driving to the north. it feels like really like a war zone. Like you could see clouds, big dark clouds on your right, on your left, and
A
explosions.
scene of a war zone for you.
Yeah, exactly. A scene of a complete war without even understanding the quantity of terrorists that had filtered
So you
themselves
saw
into
rockets,
Israel.
you saw terrorists attacking people, and I think that is estimated about 300 young people were killed at the Nova party. So we are 31 days today later on. What left in your mind from this day? Like how you live today, and what is in your mind these days?
Yeah, so the first days were really difficult, but because I was called up to do the military service once
Reserves,
again,
you were saying,
reserves, yeah, exactly. And then they canceled me. They told me maybe later during the week. So I stayed home, and it was the most difficult because you watch the news, you just passed a really horrific moment yourself, and it was really difficult just trying to understand what to do. But the surrounding was really amazing, and my family and my friends helped me, and I think as myself, as a strong person who knows to deal with tough things. So yeah, as the day passed, I felt a lot better, and I actually I have so many people reaching to me, psychologists, and they opened a place for survivors of the Nova Festival, so people who work there can attend and share their stories and talk, and it's really like a healing place, and the surroundings have been really amazing, and yeah, so it's